Yes, I am alive, and it's been a while. My name is Matt, and this is my garage, and I first wanted to start this video by saying, please ignore all the birds, it's springtime, but I did want to say thank you to everyone that has been a subscriber to my channel for the last couple years, and if you're a new subscriber that has subscribed since my last upload, which has been almost a year, welcome. In today's video, I really just want to go over a few things and kind of lay out the roadmap for what we're going to be doing over the next few months on projects and other things around the garage. I also wanted to apologize for not uploading content, and I'm sure like a lot of you, 2020 just really kicked me in the nuts over and over again, but it just didn't seem like a good time to be making YouTube videos, and just with so much stuff going on personally, this was really, unfortunately, the one thing that had to get put on the back burner. And it really is frustrating to me because this is stuff I enjoy, and really this is probably the stuff that I should have been doing to kind of keep me sane over the last few months. With all of life's stresses and everything else I had going on, I was just really just having a lot of internal demons that I had to deal with. So really, I'm just letting you guys know, I'm hopefully going to be back and trying to get onto a regular schedule. I might be changing the format a little bit, where it just seems like if I set out to do a project, that project inevitably takes way longer than I ever anticipate. So instead of maybe doing a longer video that encompasses an entire project, I might try to just do not quite a vlog, but this is what I got done today, and then the next video will be what we get done the next video. So I'll be playing with that as we get back in the videos, but today I really just wanted to catch up with you guys. Kind of, as you can see, the Datsun's on the lift, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. I did work on the Datsun and a little bit of the RX-7 last year, and I do have some of that on film, but it seemed awkward just releasing those as my next video when I'd been gone for so long. So I'm doing this video now, but also I'm really trying to get a lot of things in my life organized, and really also need to be getting my garage organized because this place is a disaster. Really just a year of neglect. There's just stuff piled everywhere. My workshop is the same. So yeah, I mean, that's really it. I just want to let you guys know that I missed you guys, and I really miss doing all this. I mean, really building these cars is kind of my therapy. And there wasn't a day that had gone by that I didn't think about the YouTube channel and the projects, and I've still been collecting parts, though I didn't spend as much money as I wanted to because of what things were going on in the world. And I'm going to show you just kind of the status of everything, and then I really need to get this garage organized because that's really the first step. I can't do any more projects until I get this place cleaned up. So I'll take you off the tripod and we'll look around real quick, and I'll kind of show you what I'm dealing with. I'm not going to go into super detail on me cleaning everything, but I did want to show you some things. I got upgrades for the garage, some things I've been collecting over the last year that need to get onto these projects. And also I did purchase another car, though it's really just a parts car at this point. And if you follow me on Instagram, link somewhere around the screen here, you will see what that project is. And it's really, I got a drivetrain for the Datsun. So if you guys check that out, we'll be working on that at some point in time, but I really need to part that car out to get the drivetrain out, and that's a whole thing. So not sure how much of that I'll cover on camera, but just know that we are going to be making progress on the Datsun as well as the RX-7. So let's take a quick look at some of the stuff I've got going on. It's enough of me blabbering, and I need to get this garage cleaned up while the weather's good today, and I've got a couple days here that I think I'll be able to get a bunch done, so who knows what'll happen, but let's check some things out. So for my videos, you guys are normally used to seeing kind of this side of my garage, which is where I keep the cars and the workbench. And of course, this is more, house stuff, which, I don't really ever show any of this in my videos, obviously, but we've been spending the last week or so trying to clear up as much space as we possibly can, throwing out a bunch of junk and just doing some normal spring cleaning type thing. So what that's going to allow me to do is basically move all my stuff over. And I've got some new garage cabinets, which we'll be installing to help give me more organizational space. I got a tool chest, which will help spread out all my tools, which inevitably I've got too many anyway, and they just give me a better way to get these organized. That's kind of the bulk of what I got to get done, is getting all this stuff shifted over so that I can get the cabinets in. I do have a stack here of new garage flooring tiles, and I'll talk more about that at some point in time, but got them on sale Black Friday or sometime at the end of last year. But basically I've been beating up my concrete underneath the cars, and I'm really just looking for a solution that would protect the concrete but not be a nuisance. I do have epoxy in my workshop, and it does get slippery if it's wet or dirty or fluids or whatever. So I didn't really want to go to epoxy right away. And I know you can do the textured stuff, but that ends up having its own issues, which we can talk about some other time. But basically, I've got to get these cabinets installed. And then, of course, you can see just the huge mess on my workbench. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that's what a year's worth of neglect does. So, yeah, I mean, really beyond that, trying to get all these organized. The RX-7 has been doing great. I take it out for drives whenever I get a chance. No complaints whatsoever. Obviously, I still have a little bit of an oil leak, but we'll get that fixed when we pull the motor. And this thing is just awesome. It just puts a smile on my face every time I get in it. And really, I hate the fact that if I ever had to have this back out of use for a long time, then I wouldn't get to drive it. So not a whole lot's been done since the last video you guys saw on this. I might have put in a few trim pieces or something that weren't really worth a video, but more or less just basically the same as it was. And then I did have to move the Datsun into the garage. I was kind of pressured into doing that because the car cover that I had kept getting torn up and it was causing leaks. And I finally was like, I got to get this thing in the garage. So I have a whole video on me, that process. It was just spewing gas everywhere and everything was rusted and it wouldn't move and it was a pain in the nuts. But I have been working on that. And unfortunately, I have found some issues. Again, the car is super clean for what it is and compared to probably most Datsuns. Very little rust on the body. It does have a lot more rust kind of in the front around the frame and suspension that I do need to get cleaned up. So it's basically been sitting here for almost a year. I have been working on the brakes and the fuel system just so that it could be drivable. But after looking at it some more, there's some really, really big issues with, bushings and some rust on the frame, which would be hard to see probably without a flashlight, but we'll talk about that some other day. But basically, this will be the focus of a lot of my work over the next few months, hopefully. Really just trying to get it on the road and deal with some of the problems that we've got to deal with. But I've been ordering parts. I got tons and tons of parts for this thing, and I'm really stoked to get working on it. Obviously taking off the bumpers. I've got some interior stuff, but basically I have not touched this car like on the inside. So it really it looks exactly like the day it was I bought it. So I need to go through that and find out what needs to be replaced in there. So we'll be working on that. And then, like I said, I've got a parts car that I'll be using to get the motor and drivetrain and stuff to swap into this thing. I don't know if I'll deal with that right away or if eventually that'll be a stage 2 rebuild. But one of my goals with this car is I want to build it that's something that's pretty cool for under $10,000. So that includes the cost of the car and basically getting it back on the road. Some basic mods. Right now the car is an automatic, so we're definitely going to be doing the whole process of converting this over to a manual. I did pick up a manual transmission and it's in my workshop, so that'll be a project at some point in time. So yeah, so these have been kind of just sitting here for the last year, other than when I've been taking the RX-7 out for drives or cars and coffee. But yeah, I really got to get this garage organized because I really can't work on these projects with the way everything is right now. And I'm not even sure I want to show you guys this workshop. It's very embarrassing. So as you can see, there are just boxes and parts just everywhere. So yeah, this really needs to get some attention too, but I basically got all my Datsun parts, a bunch of the RX-7 parts. I got a bunch of stuff stored in here, and yeah, this place is a wreck. So some of the stuff I've got in here obviously will go into the cabinets in the garage, but yeah, I've got a lot of work cut out for me. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started on just organizing the garage a little bit and trying to get these cabinets moved around. So I don't have a specific layout in mind just yet, but I do know that I want to get all my storage kind of away from my workbench and tools. And like I said, I've got to set a new tool cabinet. So I need to try to get all that into that corner and move all my storage over this way. And you can't see it, but there's a whole storage shelf system behind those boxes. So I think I need to clear out this floor space and get all that stuff shifted over. combined width of all my new cabinets, at least this set, is going to be 92 inches. There's actually another base cabinet stuck inside the big cabinet. So there'll be 3 new cabinets. Total width is 92 inches. So I used my existing toolbox as kind of a reference and measured at least out 92 inches for that. But also I've got this electrical outlet right here that I want to make sure is accessible, because this does have like a, you can kind of see here, it does have like a worktop, and I'm gonna build this opposite so that the big cabinet is over there. So the big cabinet is 36 inches wide, so I made sure I had at least 36 inches from the end of the outlet over. So the big cabinet will be there, everything will get built that way, and then I'll be left with about a 1 foot gap between the end of the cabinets and my tool chest, which I guess that's fine. It gives me some flexibility for either a different tool chest, bigger tool chest, or it gives me a little spot to put like creepers and my jack and stuff there. So anyway, so really just trying to eyeball all this at this point in time, just trying to get my layout, and then my engine hoist, and I've actually got a large hydraulic jack. That stuff will go over here so that it's on wheels. It can easily move over there, and basically give me a whole lot more room to get stuff moved over. So I think my next goal is probably to see potentially about unpacking and moving some of these cabinets. I'm not going to do a full install of those right now, because that's going to be a whole process, and I might need an extra set of hands, but I might try to unbox these and get their feet on them so I can at least slide them over there. And this whole package right here weighs, I think it's like 575 pounds or something. It's really heavy. Anyway, but at least if I open this, I can get all the cabinets out of the inside and make this whole thing a whole lot lighter to move around. I'm gonna think on it for a minute, but at least for now, I should be able to move these back if I wanted to, and then probably go through all this junk and try to reorganize some of that. So it's pretty easy to unpack by myself. The base cabinets and the tall locker cabinet, they have kind of like little pedestals with feet that need to get attached. So that's why I had to get them all laid over on their side, and I'll have to lay that down to get the feet on the bottom. But of course, I've got a mountain of styrofoam and cardboard sitting around here, which I'm gonna have to deal with. But everything looks like it's good. I've got to find the hardware. They're probably in one of these drawers, or maybe it's all in that box. But that might still be more than I want to carry, but I think if I lay it down on its side, I can get the feet on it and then set it back up and then rock it back into place. Again, I'm not going to do the full installation today. I'm just trying to get enough of this put against the wall, have an idea where everything's going to go, because I still got a huge mess over there to clean up. But anyway, I'll talk about these probably in a separate video, but I got these from NewAge Products, and this is their Pro Series, which I think that really just means that everything has soft closed doors and drawers, and it's made out of thicker material. I can't remember if this is 18 gauge and the other series comes in like 20 gauge or 22 gauge, something like that. But they're really beefy, really stout. And of course, they're really meant to go, get bolted to the wall and stuff like that. So I'll have to, I've got a little issue over there where I've got some trim that sticks out. So I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, got all that unpacked. It just took a few minutes. And so I think the next step is to find the hardware. I can go ahead and attach the legs and then get everything kind of roughly put into position. So I know that looked precarious, but it was just getting hung up on the little sill plate that I've got in my garage. So when they built the house, the foundation actually comes all the way out to where the edge of the sill plate is. So I don't know. But anyway, it actually is going to work out that I can set the back legs on that sill plate. And there's about 1.5 inches of adjustment in these levelers, but I am going to have, there's a little bit of a gap here that I'm still gonna have to make up to get these level. But like I said, for now, I'm just trying to get them in their places. And so I think I have everything measured out to where that's exactly 28 inches for the last cabinet. So I'll have to get these leveled, but I'm either gonna go find some plastic shims or something, that if it happens to get wet, it's not gonna rot or anything. So I'll figure that out in the meantime. But really, I've got that last base cabinet to just slide up here. And again, I'm just trying to get it out of my way. So I'll go ahead and do that. But everything's looking really nice. And these cabinets are pretty heavy duty. And I'll go in more detail on those when I do the final install. All right, so 5 hours later, I got the cabinets at least where they need to go for now. So I'm probably gonna sleep on it, make sure this is kind of how I want this to be for a while, because I am gonna fasten the cabinets to the wall so that it'll be kind of permanent and I won't be moving them around once they're loaded. These can handle, each cabinet I think is rated for 1,000 pounds. So I don't know if I'll put that much stuff in there, but at least I need to make sure they're nice and secure. I know all I did was really just move stuff around, but this makes at least the avenue for me to be able to start organizing and cleaning out my parts, junk, and what have you. I think the next video is probably going to be the final installation of the cabinets, and I'll go over that. It's got more to it than what you're seeing here, but we'll do the full installation and show you all that. So anyway, I think that's all I'm going to get to today. Just getting organized will make me feel a lot better and so hopefully be more productive on my projects. But you know how it is. You'll find more junk and tools to fill this space, and then I'll need more. So we'll see what happens. All right, the camera's screaming at me that the battery's about to die, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. Like I said, guys, sorry for the hiatus, but I needed to do that personally, and I'm really trying to get back into doing like a weekly upload. So anyway, if you guys want to stick around, like I said, we'll definitely be having a lot of content on the Datsun and the RX-7. Like I said, we'll get through some garage stuff, but I'm not gonna show a ton. Just maybe some highlights on some things. But I really appreciate you guys, and for everybody that's stuck around with me through the years. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be more active and try to get more done. So thank you guys, and if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And I've got a question for you. I'm actually in the market for a nice air compressor. I'm thinking something like 60 gallons that can do like 15 CFM at 90 PSI. So if you guys have any recommendations on models I should be looking at, go ahead and put those down in the description as well. I want a vertical tank because I think I'm going to stick it over there in the corner, and that'd free up some floor space. Anyway, thank you, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.